And today we are proud to have host him, and he will be speaking inshallah on the subject of the Islamic political system. So I invite for you Hussain Mohi-ud-Din Qadri.
ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله النبي الأمين المقيم الحليم الكريم الرؤوف الرحيم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لقد كان لكم في رسول الله أسوة حسنة صدق الله العظيم. Secretary General Minhaj-ul-Quran International Dr. A.J. our eminent religious scholar Allama Muhammad Sadiq Qureshi, Tahsin Khalid, President NYL UK, Muzammin Rafi, Qasim Raouf, Safina Muhammad, Awais Afzal, Tanzeen Begum, and I welcome all other youth brothers and sisters who have joined us tonight for this program. And I would like to welcome to our members from electronic media too, that they have joined us for this night program. Dear audience, as we know, today we will be discussing the topic of Islamic political system. So before we get into the topic, we have to understand what exactly I mean by saying Islamic political system. What are the bases on which Islamic political system stands on? When we see different systems implemented around the world, there are few political systems which are implemented in Middle East. There are few political systems which are implemented in Europe, in North America, and other places. There are still few political systems which are implemented in South Asia and other Asian countries such as Russia and China. So all systems varies in their basic structure, and what that which makes them different from others, that is more or less the usage of democratic values into that system that make them different from another political system. Dear audience, we use the word Islamic political system a lot, and specifically we listen to this slogan and this word a lot in Britain from few sects, from few organizations, and especially from a good number of youth in Britain specifically. They have raised a lot the word Khilafah, and we need Khilafah around the world, and Khilafah in Islamic political system is actually Khilafah. That's what they keep on saying it. And then some places, when we talk about that we need an implementation of Islamic political system, and we listen and hear this word a lot around the world. So we have to be clear what exactly that means, and what political system we are talking about. Does really Islam provide us with political system or not? That is the basic question we'll be answering tonight. If we talk about the model, there is a democratic and political model of West, then there is a democratic and political model we have in East, then there is a democratic and democratical and political model which communist people, they have it. There is a democracy, but up to some extent. Some people they call it a democracy and others doesn't. But still they consider it a democratic system, a political system. In Islam, when we say a political system or a model, so we have to be clear, Islam doesn't provide us any model. That is the basic thing on which we'll develop the rest of the discussion. Model is something which has to go out of date after some time. Because model is designed usually by keeping the present scenario, the situation, the behavior, the culture, the community, their beliefs, culture, values, education. By keeping these things in our mind, the model comes up for the society. And models vary according to the culture, according to the country, such as the Western democracy. If we see the Western democratic model in Britain, it is different from the Western democratic model the United States have. Then the Western democratic model, it varies when we go to other part of the world. Similarly, when we go to the East, there are different applied democratic political models. So by that I mean, and if we go to the history, if we see the pages of the history, we'll find that that model has been changing in the period of time. So by that, we understand that the model is something which has to go out of date. If Islam would have provided us with a model, so that has to be going out of date because of the limitation each and every model has. So then, what Islam actually provides when we call Islamic political system, so Islam actually provides us with the principles and not a set model. Islam is actually providing, that is the basic point we have to understand here, that Islam is actually providing us the set of principles which will lead us towards a proper political model which can be made in any time period, any time frame, in anywhere in the world according to the culture, keeping the values, traditions in our mind. So that model can be built up on those principles, basic democratic principles provided by Islam. So now we are clear on one thing, that Islam has not provided us with a complete shape of model, but Islam has provided us actually a set of principles through which we can come up easily with a democratic or political model which could rule any country in the world. So now, the word Khilafah, which has been used around the world by different people, different organizations. So there is a misunderstanding they have regarding it. What they think the only model which has provided by Islam is the Khilafah model. So the Muslims, if that state or that political system is a Muslim political system, an Islamic political system, that has to be something related to Khilafah. But in Islam, Khilafah is not any kind of model, or you cannot call Khilafah a model. It is just a word which has been used, which has been taken from the first community of Islam, from the first 4 caliphates and companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They might have taken this word from them, and they are now utilizing it, and they are trying to convince other people that Khilafah is the only model which can be implemented in Muslim world. But actually Khilafah is just a word. The Islamic Khilafah, the Islamic political system, is basically the niyabat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is Khilafah. When we say Khilafah, or a head of the state in any Muslim country, by that it means he is actually the naib of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is the Khalifa of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he has inherited the amanat. The state, Islamic state, actually belongs to Allah and His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So whosoever is elected or selected, whatever the model is, in Islamic State. So he is actually inherited, he is actually having the amana. The amana, he is ameen. He is actually utilizing the amana of Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that make us to conclude and come up to, and here we'll understand what is the major difference between the Western political system